Good morning and welcome to Daf Yomi Maseches Chagigah, Daf Tet Zion, number 16. It's raining outside, so therefore I had to wear a hat this morning. Just protects out from the rain, you know. You don't want to get wet, so therefore I wore a hat. It happens to be a colored hat from last Purim, so I had to wear a hat. I mean, you don't want to get wet. Now I'm joking. It's not. It's not because. No, it's Chagigah. Maseches Chagigah. It's a party. It's a Mesibah. Translates to a party in Hebrew. So we have to do something to make it like a party. Yesterday we had a great demonstration of how to drink a screwdriver. A screwdriver, as everybody knows, is the famous cocktail with orange juice and vodka. Well, we did one better. We mixed it with an actual screwdriver, real screwdriver. We mixed it, authentic screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a slotted screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. We mixed it. The conclusion was that it's better to mix it with a Phillips screwdriver. So therefore, if you shave also, so you should drink a cocktail, a screwdriver cocktail, and use the Phillips screwdriver because you're using the Phillips Norelco shaver. I'm just messing with your minds over here. All right, let's get started today. It's a party, but it's raining outside, so it's a problem. I have to be happy. All right, the Gemara on Tedvav B says at the bottom. I guess I'll take off the hat for the actual shear because it's Torah. We should mezalzel the kedusha of Torah. All right, the Gemara says the second to last line on Tedvav Beis, 15b on the bottom. Rabbi Akiva all the b'shalom v'yard b'shalom. Rabbi Akiva, we talked about yesterday that Daled Chachamim, four big rabbis, went into the Pardes. They went in to learn the esoteric secrets of the Torah. The only one that came out in peace, unchanged, was Rabbi Akiva. About him, the pasuk says, Hashem says, "Run after me, draw after me," because Rabbi Akiva was drawn after HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He didn't look. He didn't look at the marble stones. He avoided looking at the marble stones, and therefore was able not to declare the Mayim. But that wasn't the case for the Malach HaYasharis. The Malachim wanted to punish Rabbi Akiva also. Why do they want to punish him? That's for you to answer, but it was alluded to yesterday in the shir that maybe they wanted to punish him because he didn't take any chances. He didn't look. He should look. He should just have the right thoughts. This Rabbi Akiva was a great sage, therefore it's fitting that he basks in the kavod of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the kavod of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the honor of HaKadosh Baruch Hu protected Rabbi Akiva. My Dorosh, Gemara on Zayin and Aleph says at the top, My Dorosh, Amar Rabbi Barachana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, V'asa Miriv Voice, Kodesh. I was speaking to my mother last night, and she said her recommendation. My mother is my biggest fan for sure. There is no question about it. I don't have such a core base. People actually watching this shir on a continuous basis. Her advice to me was, you have to let people know what you're going to be talking about today during the shir. So I didn't let you know in the beginning, but we're going to be talking about today a big machlokas, the first machlokas in Chazal. This is really, it's recorded in Maseches Chagigah, but this really is the first machlokas among the sages, dating all the way back to, who's the first one? Yossi ben Yoezer, one of the first Rabbanim mentioned in Pirkei Avos, that they have machlokas about whether you got to do smicha, or you're allowed to lean your hands on a korban shalmei chagigah when you bring it on Yom Tov. This is the first recorded machlokas. There was never machlokas before that, meaning from Har Sinai until the time of Yossi ben Yoezer, Yossi ben Yochanan, which lived towards the end of the second Beis Hamikdash, there was never a machlokas about Torah. Never one machlokas. How could it be? There was never one machlokas. We're going to have to answer this question at a different time, but it could be that Well, the simple answer is that the Torah was forgotten partially. Therefore, they had to reinstitute it. They weren't sure what it was. All right, you'll think about that and you'll tell me an answer. All right, so the Gemara says, "My Darash, Amar Rabbi Chana, what did Rabbi Kiva darshan that prompted him not to look at the marble? Amar Rabbi Chana, Rabbi Yochanan, Asam Rivos Kodesh, Osi Yerivo Shalo. There's a sign of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in his legions. He was passing through the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and there will be a sign of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He didn't want to look directly at HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rabbi Abahu, Amar Dagol Mervava. Dagol Mervava means a flag among the multitudes. Dugma Hebrew Revava. There's an image of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in his a likeness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in his multitudes of ministering angels. Rabbi Yishlakish Amar Hashem Tzvako Shemo Adon Hu B'Tzavo Shalo. Hashem Tzvako Shemo. He is the master in his army. Therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was seen. He didn't want to look directly at HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem's not in the wind. After the wind, there's thunder. He's not in the thunder. Then there's fire. There's lightning. Called the Mamadaka. After lightning, there's a thin voice, a very light voice. Hine Hashem over Hashem. That's the indication that Hashem has come. There's a very low toned voice that precipitates HaKadosh Baruch Hu's arrival, and he sensed that when he was going in the party, so therefore he didn't look. 6 things were said about Shadim. Shadim are demons. In three ways they're like Malachim. In 3 ways they're like regular people. They have wings, they fly from one end of the world to the other end of the world. They have a lot of miles, they have points, point system. They're able to fly from Australia to the United States all the time, no problem. I'm joking. The Odin Yodin Mashas Leos Kamal Hasharis. They know the future like Malach Hasharis. The Gemara asks, Yodin Sakadaita, people know the future, even the Malach know the future. Showman Makar Pargu Kamal Hasharis. They hear about the future from behind the Iron Curtain. The Iron Curtain was the Soviet Union. It's relatable to times now. Russia has invaded Ukraine, so we're trying to reinstitute the Soviet Union, but they hear from behind the Iron Curtain, and they hear what's going to be. In 3 ways, they're like people. Malachim. They eat and drink like Bnei Adam. Malachim eat and drink. We know that it says in Matan Torah, Kadosh Baruch Hu Moshe went up to Har Sinai. When he went up to Har Sinai, he did not eat and drink for 40 days because he wanted to be like the people there, the Malachim. So Malachim don't eat or drink. So what does the Gemara mean over here? The Malachim eat and drink. Problem. I'm leaving you a lot of questions today. Hopefully you'll think about these things. I'm giving you food to think about for Shabbos. When you come to your Shabbos meals, don't eat anything. Fast on Shabbos and just think about these questions. You should make sure to fast. If you have a desire to make Kiddush, don't make Kiddush. Don't eat the challah. Just think about the answer to these questions. Don't write them down, of course, because it's Shabbos, but think about them. And right after Havdalah on Motzei Shabbos, write down these answers and put it in the comments below. We need your answers. I'm joking, of course. All right. But it would be nice people to contribute some comments and tell me that they like to share and subscribe to my channel, even better. That would be nice. Shisha Dvaram Nemru, they eat and drink like Bnei Adam. Parim V'Ravim Bnei Adam. They engage in intercourse like Bnei Adam. Umesim Bnei Adam. Shadim actually die. They die. Shisha Dvaram Nemru Bnei Adam. 6 things are said about people, human beings. In 3 ways are similar to Malachim. 3 ways are similar to animals. They have understanding, they have knowledge. Like Malach they walk erect. They don't walk on 4 like animals. They speak in Hebrew. Lashon HaKodesh is only by Malach Hasharis. In 3 ways, like an animal. Eating and drinking like an animal. Part of Ravin Behema. they engage in intercourse like animals. Mostly in Reiki, Behema, they go to the bathroom like animals. Anyone who looks at the following four things, like we said in the Mishnah, it's better that he never lived. Bishlam mala 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 mata, and he asks what's above space, what's below Challenger Deep, mala achor, he asks what's going to be after this world. That makes sense. Because these things you can't really figure out the answers. It's a waste of time to think about it. You could. The Torah tells you what happened. There was nothing around. So why can't you contemplate what it was like? Rabbi Yochanan, Lezer Dami Tavai, they both answered as follows: Mashal Melech Basar Dam Shama Lavada Bonuli Platarin Gedolin Ala Ashba. He said, build me my palace on an area that was used for a garbage dump. Halchu Banu Lo. And they built it for him. The king doesn't want. It's disgraceful to the king to say, oh, you know where this palace was built? It was built on the area of a garbage dump. If you don't have kavod, if you're machal shem shamayim, it's better that you never live. Mahi, what is this referring to? Rabbi Abba, Amar Zem Istakal Bakesha, someone who stares at a rainbow. A rainbow is supposed to be Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, is making a covenant with people. He's not going to destroy the world. He's doing a favor to them. And you Istakal Bakesha, Hashem's doing a favor. You don't stare at that. He says someone who does an Avera B'Seiser in private, and he's afraid to do it in public. He does things in private. Obviously, people find out about it. It's more embarrassing. Mistakel b'keshes, dichsiv kimara keshes shaya ba'anam yom hageshem kimara hanoga saviv kumara dvus kvar Hashem. The actual appearance of a rainbow is similar to the appearance of Hashem. You're looking of Yachad Hashem. Rav Yosef Amar Zal over Avira b'Seiser. Someone who does a secret an Avira privately. Rav Yitzchak Dam Rav Yitzchak go over Avira b'Seiser akilu dochig raglei Ashchina. It's like he says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't exist in this world. Because we know Shnemar Komar Hashem Hashemayim Kisi Artadam Ragla. Hashem lives in Shamayim. His throne is in Shamayim, but his footstool, his ottoman, is in this world. So he's partially in this world. You used to do it in private. You say, oh, Hashem is not in this world. He doesn't see me. Machal Shem Shamayim. Amar Ribalah Hazakim, but didn't Allah Zakin said him, Ra Adam Shizum as Gabriel. A person sees that his heart is too strong for him. Yel Hamakum Shem Makir so. He should go to a place where no one recognizes him. He should wear black clothes, and he should wrap himself in black scarves. And do what he wants. It's better to do that than do it in public. Lo kasha. The Gemara says, if he can control his Yetzer Hara, so to do an Avera B'Seiser, sort of rebelling against Hashem. But if you can't control your Yetzer Hara, so then like you do it for the law, and you go to a private place and do whatever you need to do. Darash Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Nachmani, Miturgmani, the Rish Lakish, Kol Mistakal, B'Yom Dvarim, Einav Chaos. Anyone looks at the following three things, his eyes become dim, his eyes become weaker, he's going to have to buy glasses. Bekesh, yes, of Anasi, of Kohanim, you look at rainbows, you stare at a rainbow, you'll stare at the president, the prime minister of Israel, the president of the States of Kohanim. You look at Kohanim, Bekeshes, Dechsiv, Kamaria, Keshes, Shayabanam, Yom HaGeshem, Hukmara, Duvas, Kvar Hashem, like I said before, it's sort of an appearance of Hashem. Hashem is telling you he's not going to destroy the world. But Nasi, Dechsiv, Anasam, Hodcha, Olav, it says Moshe gave to Yeshua. Moshe was the president of Israel, prime minister of Israel, and he gave the Hod is the splendor of Moshe, he gave to Yeshua. So he has splendor, you don't look at the splendor. Mistakal Kohanim, that's talking about when you stare at the Kohanim when the base is around you, when they were standing on the platform, they were using the explicit name of Hashem. And to stare at them while they're doing that is zilzal, it's the degradement of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't trust a friend, don't trust an aleph, a ruler. If you'll say, the Yetzer will tell you, don't worry about it, just sin, HaKadosh Baruch will forgive you. Do tshuva, al tamin, don't believe him, al tamin bereya, you don't believe in your friend. Ve'ein reya el Yetzer hara. Shenemar keish leva adam ra min ura, reya, a friend, but also could be pronounced ra. The inner workings of a person's heart is ra, the Yetzer hara. Ve'ein aleph el HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all of a master is only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shenemar aleph nurayata, the master from my youth you were. So therefore, you don't say Hashem the aleph is going to forgive you. Hashem and Tamar can be made. You'll say, who's going to testify against me? I do not avera. No one will know. Avnei Besa v'Koros Besa shel Adam Hema Eden Bo. The witnesses will be from the stones and the beams of his house. Shenemar ki Evan Mikir Tizak v'Kapis Meitz Yaneh. The stone from the wall will cry out, a kapis, and the splinter of wood will answer against you. The Chum say it's a person's soul which answers against him. That which lies in your bosom, in your stomach, you should be careful what you say. What's a person? Something that lies in the stomach of a person. That's your neshama. That's your soul. Everyone has two malachim. One malach that tells him to sin, and one malach tells him to do good. They both give testimony against him. I command malachim to be with you, to protect you in all your ways, but also to testify against you. It can even be the limbs of a person give testimony against him. Refers to the body of a person. Atem, you yourself, your gufim, your bodies are edim. Hashem says. The Mishnah says, Yossi ben Yoezer Omer Shalalismoch. This is a machlokas relevant to Masechus Chagigah, the first machlokas recorded ever in the Gemara by the Tanoi. Whether you do smicha when you bring your shalmi Chagigah, when you bring the shlamim on the first day of Yom Tov, right? So normally as a mitzvah on a private korban, you're supposed to do smicha. You're supposed to lean your hands on the animal, and it's part of bringing the karbanos. Now, there's a problem with smicha on Yom Tov because there's an issue rabbanon to lean your weight on an animal. It's like you're riding on the animal, and we know you can't ride an animal on Yom Tov because you might come to cut down a branch and start racing in the Preakness. So he says Shlo Lismoch. Yosef ben Yochanan Amar Lismoch. He says you could be somech. Yeshua and Pracha. This is a machlokes we had in Masechus Beitza. We'll see. Actually, it was recorded in the name of Hillel and Shammai, who at the Mishnah at the end says that Yeshua and Pracha Omer. He was the next generation Shlo Lismoch. He said, "Don't be somech." Nitar Bela Amar Lismoch. Now, the reason that there was machlokas, everyone agrees. This is the way I'm going to explain it. That really everyone agrees that you have to do smicha right before the shechita. The question is whether it overrides it or not, whether because it's a mitzvah so it overrides the shvus or it doesn't override the shvus. Omer lismo, Omer shelo lismo. Nidar says to be somech. Yishodem rachi Omer shelo lismo. Nidar Omer lismo. Yishodem tabai Omer shelo lismo. Shimei Shedach, who is his partner, we'll see. One was a nasi, one was not based in Omer lismo. Shemaya Omer lismo. Chatali and Omer shelo lismo. Those two gerim. Shemaya said. He says to do smicha. Talion says not to do smicha. Hillel Menachem lo nechlo. Hillel Menachem. Menachem was the Av Basin for a while. He said lo nechlo. They both agreed. We'll see. Hillel said to do smicha. Yatsa Menachem nechlo Shammai. Menachem left the Sanhedrin. He left being an Av Basin, Supreme Court justice. Shammai Omer shal lismach. Hillel Omer lismach. Shammai ended up disagreeing with Hillel and said that you should not do smicha, and Hillel said you should do smicha. Top of Tedzayin Beis Harishonim, you Nesiim V'Shneim Lahem Av Beisin. The Rishonim, this is the opinion of the Mishnah. All five of these groups of Rabbanim, the first one mentions was a Nasi, was the Prime Minister of Israel, the President of Israel, and the second was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Tana Rabbanim, Shloshim Mizugos Harishonos. We're going to see a Bryce has other opinions who was a Nasi and who was the Av Beisin. Shloshim Mizugos Harishonim. The first shita in this brisa is that among the first three groups, the ones that said not to do smicha were the nesiim, and the last two groups, the one who said to do smicha were the nesiim. And the other ones were av beistin, the Supreme Court justice. They were a mayor. That's right. Mayors have been chum omrim. Chum say no. Yehuda ben Tabai av beistin v'shim ben shetach nasi. Yehuda ben Tabai and Shimon ben Shetach were the third group mentioned. So they just argue this is a third shita. The Chum say Yehuda ben Tabai was actually, even though he was the first person to be mentioned, he was the Av Beistin. 1 second. He was the Av Beistin, and Shimon ben Shetach was the Nasi. Not the other way around. Montana lahad Tana Rabbanan Amar Yehuda ben Tabai How would this make sense for a second? Let's see. Oh, it seemed that I got it a little wrong over here. It seemed that Chum agree with the Mishnah that really normally all five groups, it was the one who said to do smicha was the Nasi. It was only some were arguing only at one point that the third group, the one who was the Nasi, was the one who said shalol smoke. That's why Yehuda ben Tabai based him Shimon Meshetach Nasi. Shimon Meshetach was the Nasi. He said to do smicha. I'm confused over here. What's going on over here? All right, it would seem, I'll just say the pshat over here, it would seem that the Chum are really just saying they're the same opinion as in the Mishnah. It's not a third opinion. It's really just saying that the second group was Nasis, and the first is Avbeis. Amar Yehuda ben Tabai, Amar Rabbi Yehuda ben Tabai, Erev ben Nechama. What is going on here? I am a little lost over here. A short day. I didn't have time to prepare adequately, apparently. I guess his name was Yehuda ben Tabai. Amar Yehuda ben Tabai, Erev ben Nechama, Lo Rakti Eid Zom. Let's see, we're going to try to figure out which one of these two, Yehuda ben Tabai and Shimon ben Shetach, which one was the Nasi and which one was the Abbesim, because that's really the Machlokas, Meir and the Chachamim. So let's try to figure out which one is which. So Yehuda ben Tabai said, it's a quote from a Gemara in Makos, Erev ben Nechama, Lo Rakti Eid Zom, Lahotzi, B'li Mash Tzadukim, She'omer Eid Zom, Nerag, and Ashi Yarag Anidon. Yehuda ben Tabai did a radical thing. Even though the halacha is you can't kill Edom Zomim unless both of them become Zomim. Ed Zomim is someone who testifies, I saw someone commit a capital offense, someone killed somebody, and he's trying to be Mechayev someone, Mrs. Bastin, and then Edom come and say, those Edom, Himanu Ayisem, they were with us at that time, in this time and place, so they couldn't have possibly testified to become an Ed Zomim. And if they do this before the people that the Edom Zomim try to kill is actually killed, they are called Edom Zomim, and they get the same punishment as they try to inflict on somebody else. But it only happens if both the Edom Zomim become Zomim, and it also only happens if they catch the Edom Zomim before the actual person gets killed that they testified against. So Yehuda ben Tabai, he decided to kill one Zomim, even though the other Ed was not convicted as a Zomim. But the reason he did this is because he wanted to establish that Sadukim were saying that you could even be killed even if the person you tried to accuse of being Chayav Misa, Chayav Misa's based in, was actually killed. You could still become an Eid Zomim afterwards. So he wanted to impress upon them that it's not really true. So therefore he would even went to kill one Eid Zomim even though the other one didn't become an Eid Zomim at that point. Imlo Shavach Dam Naki. He said Shimon Majal said to him, you killed innocent blood. They have to become Zomim together. And they both can't get Malchus. They try to Mechayev someone Malchus. They can't get Malchus until they become Zomim together. Again, they try to accuse someone of Mechayev Mamon. So his friend, they both have to become Zomim. Once he heard about this, that he really made a mistake, he said, I'm never going to give a psak halacha except with Shimon Shetach being around. His whole life, he was prostrating himself every day. He went to the grave to visit this person he had killed innocently. And there was a voice coming out. They thought it was the voice of the person who was killed, and he was complaining against Yehuda ben Tabai. Amar lahem kol Yehuda. Yehuda ben Tabai said he wanted to clear his name. He said, no, it's my voice. I'm crying bitterly that I killed him. Teidush lamachar hu meis. I'm going to die very soon. Ain't kol nishma. There'll be no more voice coming. Amar leRavacha brei the Rav Ravashi. it's not a good proof what Yehuda ben Tabai said that tomorrow's going to die, there'll be no more voice. But maybe at the end of his life he was able to appease him. Obedina Tabe, or maybe when he died, then the Harug, the person was able to be Tovea him to din, to bring him to din in Shamayim, and that's why the call stopped. Mani, anyway, the Gemara digresses. The Gemara says Mani. Mani ha, Yam Bishlama, Ray Meir. People will say the halacha is like Ray Meir, Dharma Shem Meshetach Av Based in. Shem Meshetach was the Av Based in. Yehuda ben Tabai, Nasi, Yehuda ben Tabai was the Nasi. I need to come Mori halacha if they Shem Meshetach. That is why Yehuda ben Tabai was able in the first place to issue a psak halacha. Psak halacha that meant killing somebody in front without Shem Meshetach being there, and then afterwards he just regretted not getting the advice from the Av Basin of Shem Meshetach. That makes sense. Ela Iyamar Rabbanon, if you say the halacha is like Rabbanon, the Amr Yehuda ben Tabai Av Basin, Shem Meshetach was a Nasi, Shem Meshetach was above him, he was the president, he was the prime minister. Av Basin, if they Nasi Mora halacha, could he, in the first place, how could he have been more of the halacha, the paskin, and a big shaila, without Shem Meshetach? Where it says, Lo, my kiba love, the Amr Litzarufe, the Afil Litzarufe, Nam Litzarifna. It could really be like the Chachamim that really Yehuda ben Tabai was the Nasi. Was the Av Basin, he was the Av Basin, he was the Supreme Court Justice. How could he have paskin? Because he joined with other Dayanim. When you join with other Dayanim, you don't have to consult with the Nasi. So therefore he was Makabel, he originally paskin with the other Dayanim to kill the person, which was incorrect. Now he's Makabel after he made this error to even not to join with other Dayanim, but really could be like the Rabbanan, and then he was the Av Basin. He also Menachem and Nichnas Shammai. The Mishnah says Menachem will agree with Hillel, and Shammai came in. Lahechan Yasa, where did he go? Abai Amar Yasa L'tar B'Sra. He went off the derech. He went to bad society, to normal society. Rava Amar Yasta La'avodas HaMelech. Rava says he went to work for the king, to be part of the government. Tanya Namiach Yasa Menachem La'avodas HaMelech. He went to work for the government. V'yasa Ima Shmonim Zugos Talmidim Levushin Sirikin. 80 pairs of chavrusas came with him. They were wearing colored silk clothes. Amar Rav Shem Bar Abba Rabbi Yochanan L'olam Al Tehei Shvus Kala Beinecha. He says even a rabbinical injunction should not be light in your eyes. It's only an Isra D'Rabbanan, like riding on an animal. And 5 generations of Gedolim argued about it. Pshita. I said that Shvus mitzvah. She's obviously a Shvus shouldn't be Kala in your eyes. It's an Isra D'Rabbanan. Why should we take an Isra D'Rabbanan lightly? So where it says shus mitzvah sricha, it's a shvus, but there's a mitzvah involved over here, a mitzvah of smicha. So where's hanami pshita, it's also obvious, even though there's a mitzvah. It's an isra d'rabbanan, a mitzvah b'avera we don't do. Lafuke man the amar v'smicha guva pligi. Some say that the machlokes is whether you have to actually do the machlokes shalom. All these tanoim was whether what you have to do smicha at all on a shalmei chagigah. That was machlokes with him. Kamash b'lan. No, everyone agrees you need to do smicha. The question is, does the mitzvah of smicha override the shvus on Yom Tov? Huda pligi. Amar, okay. Shmal and b'shvus huda pligi. They're arguing about whether the mitzvah overrides the injunction of the Rabbanan. I hope you enjoyed today's shir. I don't know if this is the right way to wear it. I don't know the right way to wear this hat. You wear it like this. Wear it up, people wear black hats. They wear, if you're a big ono, so you wear your black hat like this. If you're a Rosh Yeshiva, you wear it like this. If you're a Chashuv Balabas, you wear it like this, a little down. I don't know. This is a party. I like it. It looks like this. L'chaim, kind of coffee is finished, but we will, next week, be introducing a new cocktail, my own concoction. Instead of orange juice, we'll be taking orange soda and mixing with vodka, the new screwdriver. We'll see and compare and contrast which one is better, the orange juice or the orange soda. See you. Have a good Shabbos. See you Motzei Shabbos. Bye.